Good morning. Good morning. I want to share my appreciation for everyone here today as we discuss public safety here in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas State Capital City. One of the many things that we've seen over the past few years, particularly during the pandemic and after the pandemic, is the city of Little Rock and the Little Rock Police Department's focus on a holistic and comprehensive public safety strategy. We've seen our focus in declaring gun violence as a public health epidemic. We've stated and shared how we will have a dual focus of targeting patrols within high crime areas, but also focusing on prevention, intervention, and treatment programming to ensure that we are focusing on the root causes of issues. Out of that, we've also had a very intentional focus on how we focus on crime by identifying crime and understanding where the crime is happening in real time. And so one of the things that we've been able to do is to focus on a real-time crime center, which is a state-of-the-art technology system that Little Rock was one of the first in our state to do this under the leadership of Chief Heath Helton and our entire team at the Little Rock Police Department. Because of that, we have varying degrees of cameras all across this city, known and unknown. Today, that represents about 3,200 cameras. Those cameras are integrated as it relates to businesses and residents, and also we want to make sure we're very clear, there's no facial recognition, there's no big brother issues with that. But it's to ensure that we are keeping crime front of mind, and when something happens, we're able to target it, alleviate it as quickly as possible. And that's the reason why we've seen overall crime in the city of Little Rock, not only to date, but also over the past 5 years, be down at least 3 to 4%, and violent crime to be down at least 5%. And that's a contributing factor and a force multiplier because of the Real-Time Crime Center, as well as, and most importantly, the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department. What we're doing today is announcing the time to go from good to great as it relates to the Real-Time Crime Center. We've seen a lot of great work that's contributed to the reduction of crime and homicides in our city, but we want to see more, and there's always more work to do. And so today we're announcing the Eyes on the Rock initiative. We're encouraging residents and businesses to please join us in having additional eyes on the rock. You do this by going to connectlittlerock.org. connectlittlerock.org. And there you'll have all the information to show how you sign up in a very secure and safe way to ensure not only that we have additional eyes on the streets and the byways and highways of the city of Little Rock, but also to ensure that you also know we're not coming into your homes to see anything else. It's about ensuring that we have public safety and we continue to drive down crime and violent crime in our city that we've seen. As we know, there's always more work to do, and this is a very strategic way to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. So again, we ask you to join us with the Eyes on the Rock campaign by joining us at connectlittlerock.gov. For those of you who would like to let folks know that you have eyes, that you're part of the Eyes on the Rock campaign, we'll give you a sign, just like if you had ADT or you got a Ring camera and the people know what you have in front of your home. We want you to put up these signs at your house to let you know as well. If you don't want to, we still gonna have eyes on the rock. And so we say thank you to those who've already been a part of this journey with us, those 3,200 cameras. I can tell you there are cities our size and larger that have at least 20 to 40,000 cameras. And we've already seen the great contribution in the reduction of crime because of the 3,200 that we have already. And so we want to increase that 3,200 to at least 30,000. And I believe in Little Rock, and I know we can get this done together. With that being stated, I'm now going to transition to hear from Chief Heath Helton, who's been a great leader alongside the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department to see our reduction in violent crime and our reduction in overall crime. Chief Helton.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome you all here as we talk about this new initiative, obviously, hopefully enhance our Real-Time Crime Center. For those of y'all who are aware, we've talked about this previously in other news conferences and press releases. We started this endeavor back in October of 2022. and actually kicked off with the Arkansas State Fair. We've seen our opportunities grow with the Crime Center, but I believe we can do much more. I get often asked by our community, what can we do to help? This is a great way to help. The men and women that work in our Crime Center, along with our supervisors, do a phenomenal job. But with more, we'll be able to do a lot more. You've heard about our violent crime, down 5% right now. Overall crime, down 2%. We've only scratched the surface of what I believe that we can do more with. Some of the examples that I can talk about for the first part of this year, we've had 463 real-time assists, meaning that detectives within our center have been out assisting, watching, sending information real-time to officers in the field. We've recovered 96 stolen vehicles through our real-time crime center. We've had, which a dollar amount with some of the property that we've taken, about $700,000. We've had 93 other agency assists, agencies from across Arkansas, even agencies from outside the state that have called for our assistance. Some of the examples we've had this year, earlier in January, we had an incident down at River Mountain Park. Got a call about individuals breaking into cars. Our detectives immediately got on the cameras. We were able to see individuals breaking into it. That information was passed along to patrol. Within minutes, we were able to stop the individuals that broke into this car, recover a ton of property, and these individuals charged with multiple felonies. Another incident earlier this year, around March, we had a shooting that occurred at Baseline in Chico. That information went out. We got a description of the car. Detectives immediately started working. We were able to identify what ended up being the car, push that information out to detectives, put a broadcast out. Within 30 minutes of that shooting, we were able to apprehend the individual responsible for this violent act. Recently, we had an incident that occurred where we were notified about an aggravated robbery that took place in Mississippi. That information was passed along to us. The suspects were believed to be headed towards Little Rock. We immediately started accessing our cameras, some of our license plate readers, and we started getting hits on this car. It was located in the vicinity of off University. Detectives immediately made contact with the individuals. A pursuit started. We were able to, they ended up crashing out the car. We got the individuals in custody, charged with multiple felonies. Subject was also in possession of a Glock with a switch, which makes it pretty much a machine gun. So we were able to take 2 individuals into custody for that incident, and ultimately, hopefully they'll be extradited back to Mississippi to face the prosecution for those crimes there. And then one recently, our last one, we had an individual that had triggered our LPRs and our cameras. This individual was wanted on multiple felonies, not only out of Little Rock, but other jurisdictions across our state. Officers within the 12th Street Patrol Division were able to find the car, take the individual custody, which ultimately was charged with 31 different felony counts and warrants, as well as misdemeanors. So this has been an active, huge deal for us to be able to solve crimes, prevent crimes, and as well as to make things safer not only for our officers, but for our community as well. When we talk about resource optimization, what does that mean for us and how does that affect the Little Rock Police Department? So one, having our real-time crime center increases productivity with the men and women of the police department. It allows our detectives in the crime centers to do some of the work for our detectives that will process things, get data information, and get it back to them to hopefully clear these cases a lot quicker. Provides real-time situational awareness. I can't stress enough how important that is to our men and women that are out there in the field. Because the more informed an officer is, the more information they have, the better response you will get from us. Monitoring our critical assets and our critical infrastructure for our city. We know what kind of world we live in today. It's a totally different world than what we knew 10, 15 years ago. Our critical infrastructure assets are very important to our city and to our community stakeholders. We talk about executing effective policing strategies. We are a data-driven agency. That means we look at what our numbers tells us, we look at where our hot spots are, then we focus our cameras, our business owners and community members in that area to help us try to drive down the problem or the issues that are occurring. Reduce response time. Believe it or not, this actually does. This will help us speed up because these officers get it. We can locate officers there, not only for us, but it also helps our brothers and sisters with the fire department, as well as MIMS and Public Works, Code Enforcement, all those entities. And this also supports our collaboration with our community members and our business stakeholders. This allows everybody to become part of the solution when we talk about dealing with crime. Because crime is not merely an overall law enforcement issue, it is a community issue that we all have to come together to address these issues. Try to stop it. We're never going to get rid of all of it, but if we can all wrap our arms around it, we'll see numbers go down. One thing I always want, when we talk about the Crime Center, is always the theory of Big Brother. Our cameras right now that we have integrated are our business partners who have, they control what we see. Any business stakeholder that's there, they can tell us what we can look at. When they want to pull the plug, they have that opportunity to pull the plug. It's, to me, I'm baffled sometimes the way we live now that every school, every hospital, every mall, public space out here should have their cameras integrated with the Little Rock Police Department or any law enforcement agency across this country. That is vital to the world that we live in right now. We've seen active aggressor incidents across our country, and if we're able to see in those things when it's coming, just imagine the response that would happen for us. You think about Uvalde and some of these tragic incidents that have happened across our country. If that information was shared real time to officers, I can tell you the outcome would be 100% different. And we talk about our residents that register their cameras. We don't look into your cameras, it just tells us you have a camera. Where that comes into benefit for us is if we have an incident occur, we can send a mass notification out at one time to that particular area that, hey, we've had an incident occur, check your camera. If you see something, let us know. It's kind of like that old analogy after 9/11, see something, say something. Same thing applies here. So, in the privacy issues, a lot of our public safety cameras, most of them are out in the open. Our LPRs, you drive on the roadway, it's no different than when you travel outside and go through a toll booth. Same cameras that they use that we get those nice bills about 2 months later. Same thing applies there. So, this initiative for Eyes on the Rock allows us to connect Little Rock in a better way. So thank you for the opportunity, appreciate our community, and look forward to hopefully increasing our numbers in there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Helton, and you, alongside the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department. We are so grateful for your leadership. Two things before we transition. First, again, it's connectlittlerock.org, not gov. Connectlittlerock.org. We want you all to sign up. Secondly, one of the ways that we were able to kickstart this a couple years ago was due to the fact of the funding from the Biden-Harris administration with a $1.2 million American Rescue Plan Act investment. Without that, we would not be here today. Alongside of the City of Little Rock Board of Directors, that after we received that initial investment of $1.2 million from the American Rescue Plan Act, we then saw the results of it. And after that, the City of Little Rock Board of Directors continued to make more investment into this process to have it what we have today. If you haven't had a chance to go out to our Real-Time Crime Center, Chief Helton and his team will allow you to have a tour, particularly with businesses and or residents. As we talk about residents and we also talk about our stakeholders, it's an all hands on deck approach. And so now we want to transition to our commercial sector and resident standpoint from our Chief Executive Officer of the Little Rock Chamber of Commerce, Jay Cheshire. He will give some comments about how the business community is involved, and then immediately following him, Brian Day, who is the Executive Director and CEO of the Little Rock Port Authority, how the impact on port security has happened and has been happening as a result of the Real-Time Crime Center. Jay Cheshire.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Chief Helton. I can't say it much better than what has already been said, so I'm going to give you a little anecdotal example of how this works. The mayor and I are on a plane to go to Atlanta for an economic development meeting. He gets notified by the City of Atlanta Mayor's office that an active shooter situation is occurring in downtown Atlanta, very close to where we're going for this meeting. Literally, by the time we landed in Atlanta, they not only knew who the person was within minutes of the actual shooting, they were following this individual through their camera system, which at that point in time had 18,000 opportunities for people to integrate with that system so that they could follow this individual outside of the inner city of Atlanta and eventually catch him. The mayor and I had been talking about what he and the city board were doing to create this real-time crime center under the leadership of Chief Helton. I saw it in person and in action that day in Atlanta. We came back and recognized that this was the way that we could make our city and citizens safer. This is about you and I. When it's all said and done, it's a place where people want to live because they feel safe and they feel like if there's something that happens, that it will be taken care of extremely quickly. You know, shining the light on activity that shouldn't take place, I believe, is the best deterrent for that activity to take place. As the chief said, and as the mayor has said, this isn't about your camera being followed by the police department. This is about them knowing they can get access through you to that camera if they need information to very quickly resolve a situation. This has and will save lives. So from a business community perspective, we're often asked, what are we doing to make Little Rock a safer place? Well, I can tell you what we're doing. We're partnering with the mayor, the city board of directors, with Chief Helton and the men and women of the police department, our brothers and sisters in the fire department and in public safety all over this city to first of all protect them. If we don't protect them, if they don't have all of the information humanly possible before they walk into a difficult situation, then we're not doing what we should be doing to help them. Secondly, that will help us. Whether you're a business and you integrate your camera system, as the Chamber of Commerce has had for quite some time now, with this system, and give them access once they understand there's a situation that's taking place, to help them fix that situation, that keeps you safe. That keeps us safe. So we're calling on all businesses, and we'll be running our own campaign to strive to have every business with a camera system, and those who don't, to create one, to integrate into this system, to make this the safest city, not only in Arkansas, but in America. That's how we fix this. It's not them, it's us. We have to do it together or it won't be done. We applaud the Real-Time Crime Center. We've already used it from an economic development standpoint when asked, what about your crime rate? Just recently we had a project that asked that question because they saw one of those worst of lists the night before they were touring a site here in Little Rock. A very quick phone call later to Chief Helton. We had that prospect in the Real-Time Crime Center so they could see for themselves what we're doing to impact crime. We're not talking about it, we're doing it. Hats off to the city of Little Rock for taking this step in making our citizens safer, this place to become a place that we all know and love, and others will want to come join and live with us here as we make Little Rock the next great city in the American South. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Brian Day, and I'm the Executive Director of the Port of Little Rock. Thanks for the Mayor and Chief Helton's leadership on this issue. I want to build on a little bit about what Jay talked about. The Port of Little Rock is Arkansas's largest industrial park, and we have over 50 businesses from around the world that locate there. And when a business is choosing to locate into a community, they ask questions about, what are you doing about the crime? Is it a safe place to be? The Port of Little Rock, a couple of years ago, was fortunate enough to get a grant from FEMA, and we've installed 100 cameras and a dozen license plate readers. And those were great. We had them, we were able to use them from a forensic standpoint if there were issues, but we recently integrated with the Little Rock Police Department's Real-Time Crime Center, and our camera system all of a sudden become this incredibly efficient and effective tool that we can use to make sure that all of those people that come to the port every day for a job and all those businesses that locate there have a safe environment. We are committed to our industry partners to make sure that they make a good decision to locate here, and having this Real-Time Crime Center and access to these cameras does make a difference, because you can locate anywhere you want to make that widget. But having this in Little Rock sets us apart from so many other communities, and with that we will be able to continue to grow jobs like we've done so well over the last 3 years. If you haven't integrated your cameras into the Real-Time Crime Center, if you're a business or a resident, I see no reason why you shouldn't. It does make Little Rock a better place. It helps us grow our economy. It helps us grow our families. And I would encourage all of you to sign up and make that happen. Mayor, thank you for your leadership on this, and thank you for having us here today.
As we transition to closing remarks, we want to focus on tourism in the state's capital city. As we know, plays a large part of the economic development, not only in the state, but our city. And we're very grateful for the leadership of the chairman of the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau, former state senator Jim Keat. He'll give remarks, and immediately following him will be our Downtown Little Rock Partnership CEO, Gabe Holstrom, and then I'll come with final remarks. Senator Keat.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, just want to say thank you to Chief Helton and the Little Rock Police Department for literally putting your lives on the line every day. We in the city very much appreciate that. What we're doing to solve crime more quickly is to integrate this system that the Mayor and Chief Helton have taken the leadership role in, and we hope that everybody in the city gets behind it. Public safety is one of the most important things that potential visitors look at as they consider where to take a vacation or where to bring their convention. It's a top priority for meeting planners when considering where to have their events. Part of the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau's mission is to improve the quality of life in the local community in Little Rock by bringing visitors, meetings, conventions, and events to the city. Tourism, in fact, is a major component in our economic driver for the city and for Pulaski County. As an example, visitors spend about $1.95 billion per year. Local and state tax revenues generate about $124 million each year. Hospitality industry employees last year totaled about 11,500 folks. Meetings and conventions and sporting events are big business in Little Rock and the state. And in 2023, we saw those kind of numbers generated because of the great job that our people in the hospitality industry do each year. Just as the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau managed facilities are numbered, they speak for themselves. Last year, there were 450 events that were hosted. Total attendees, over 500,000 people, 524,000 to be exact. The major asset that we're trying to create is to continue building the reputation of the downtown. In January 2023, we launched a 10-year master plan for the LRCVB. And one of our most important priorities is directed to what the Little Rock Police Department is doing and the Real-Time Crime Center and the impact that it has. Destination perception is a key to whether people decide to come here, whether for vacations or for planning a meeting or a major convention here. So everything that we can do to collaborate with the city is critical, and I encourage our restaurants, hotels, and attractions to work right alongside the Little Rock Police Department to integrate their cameras with the Real-Time Crime Center for continued safety and success. It helps keep our hospitality industry workers safe, it dramatically enhances the visitor experience, and it prevents any harm that might come to our citizens. So we want their health and well-being to be a top priority. And again, I want to commend the Mayor and Chief Helton for the great work that they've done with the support of all the folks in the Little Rock Police Department. Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. Again, thank you to the LRPD and for the Mayor's Office and the City Board of Directors for taking the leadership on this very important issue. I hope everybody has heard me say this before, but if you haven't, the downtown of any city, but our city especially, is the heart of a city. And in order to have a strong city, you have to have a strong heart. That's why we were very excited to hear about this program. And when it kicked off, we worked with the Chief's office and have taken multiple groups to tour through the Real-Time Crime Center and see it live and in action, and then encourage not only the downtown businesses, but residents, but then people all across this city to check it out, to join up, to register their cameras so that LRPD is going to know where they have potential eyes in the event something does happen. So I think this is a great program that we have. And then speaking of these eyes that we have on the street, We're now coming up on a year of having the Downtown Little Rock Ambassador Program out on the street. People on the ground with real eyes and ears out there. Now they're picking up trash, they're cleaning up graffiti, but they're also in close contact with our friends at LRPD and letting them know when they see things and they're saying things, and letting the appropriate authorities know to keep this a safe city. So thank you all. Thank you, Mayor.
There's not much more to say, but I want to speak a little bit to the residents of the city of Little Rock. While Chief Helton has shared that crime is down overall as well as violent crime, I also understand as your mayor that there still may be a semblance of a feeling that the city is not safe. Stats may say one thing, but your feelings matter to me. And this is a strategic step on how we address the feeling of being unsafe, by having these additional eyes on our streets and our city. 3,200. If you've ever had a question on how you could help our city, your city, my city, everyone's city, this is an opportunity. If you have a camera system, whether you're a business or a resident, please go to connectlittlerock.org. Connectlittlerock.org. We're here not only to show you that crime is going down, we're here to help you feel like crime is going down. But also, this is a strategic step. We've had funding from the American Rescue Plan Act dollars. We've had additional funding from the City of Little Rock Board of Directors within our budget, but we need more funding. If we ever want to move from 3,200 to 30,000, we have additional funding in the sales tax initiative that we're proposing to the City of Little Rock Board of Directors. We have close to $50 million, more than $50 million, millions of dollars that are going towards Little Rock Police Department and fire departments. We need additional money for Real-Time Crime Center. So we ask that each of you encourage your City of Little Rock Board of Directors to vote yes on Tuesday for the sales tax on November the 5th, so we can invest more in the 4 Ps, but particularly the first P and the most important P of the 4 Ps, which is public safety. Because you can't have a prosperous city without having a safe city. We have a safe city, but we want to be safer. We want to make certain that you all feel more safe. Thank you so much, and we'll now open the floor for any questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day.